Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into something fascinating?
Absolutely. Always up for a good deep dive.
Today, we're going deep into the world of money, but not just the typical numbers and spreadsheets.
Yeah, those can get a bit dry, can't they?
Totally. This time, it's about the psychology of money, the hidden forces, that shape our financial decisions.
The stuff we often don't even realize is influencing us.
Exactly. We're dissecting a popular YouTube video by Escaping Ordinary, all inspired by Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money.
Ah, great book. Lots of insights there.
So by the end of this deep dive, you won't just understand those psychological factors. You'll walk away with some actionable strategies you can use right away.
Love it. Knowledge is power, but only if you apply it.
100%. Okay, so first big thing that struck me, this idea of financial DNA.
Oh, yeah, that's a powerful concept. Basically, it's like our beliefs about money are often shaped by our past.
Like our upbringing, the financial climate we experienced growing up, all that.
Exactly. Imagine, for instance, someone who became an adult during the booming 70s.
Right.
They might have a higher risk tolerance, be drawn to the stock market's potential for quick growth.
They see the dips as buying opportunities.
Exactly. But on the other hand, someone who came of age during, say, a recession might prioritize stability and slow growth instead.
Makes sense. They've seen job losses, hardship. They'd probably favor safer investments, even if the returns are potentially lower.
Right. So understanding your own financial DNA, that's key. Where do your beliefs about money come from? Once you know that, you can start making decisions that are more rational and less driven by, hidden emotions.
It's like we inherit these money mindsets without even realizing it. Now, this next insight blew my mind a bit. It's about playing the long game, and this guy, Warren Buffett, he's like the poster child for it.
Oh yeah, the Oracle of Omaha.
So get this. He made like $81.5 billion of his fortune after turning 60.
It's mind-boggling, right? But it illustrates the power of compounding beautifully.
Yeah, break that down for us. Compounding. How does it actually work?
It's essentially money making more money. Like, a snowball rolling downhill, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. So imagine you invest $1,000 today, get a decent 7% return each year. After a decade, you've basically doubled your money.
Okay, not bad.
But here's the kicker. After 20 years, it's quadrupled. And after 30 years, it's 8 times your initial investment. And it just keeps growing from there.
So the earlier you start, the more time that snowball has to roll and grow, right?
Exactly. And the video does this cool thought experiment. Picture Buffett starting at 30 instead of 10. His wealth today, 99.9% ESS.
Wow. It's almost like less about being a genius and more about consistency and letting time do its thing.
They also contrast Buffett with Jim Simons, a brilliant mathematician who actually had higher average returns.
Really?
Yeah, but because he started later, his total wealth is significantly lower.
So it's not just about finding that hot stock tip, it's about harnessing the power of time.
And this is where so many people struggle, They get impatient, they chase quick returns, try to time the market.
And miss out on the long-term gains, right?
Yep. The key is to stay focused on the long term and let compounding do its work.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say. But you know what else can trip us up? Something we all struggle with. Pessimism.
Ah, yeah, that negativity bias. Why are we so drawn to the doom and gloom when it comes to money, even though history shows progress?
It's like our brains are wired for it, right?
You got it. It's a survival mechanism. A 40% market drop. That's instant headlines, triggers fear.
But a steady 140% gain over years, that barely registered.
Same with medical advances versus sudden tragedies.
We remember the plane crash, not the thousands of safe flights.
Exactly. And the problem is, this negativity can really cloud our financial judgment. We might make impulsive moves based on fear, even though statistically, things tend to improve over time.
So how do we escape that pull of pessimism and actually make more rational financial choices?
By cultivating a long-term optimistic outlook. Recognize that setbacks are inevitable, but history shows, especially in the markets, things generally trend upwards over time.
See those dips not as disasters, but as buying opportunities.
Exactly. Hold for the long term. Now, the video tells this fascinating story that really highlights another often overlooked factor in, everything, really.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's about Bill Gates and a twist of fate. Picture this. 1968, Gates is in high school, and he has access to a computer that only one other high school in the world had at the time.
What? Talk about a lucky break.
Right. That access undoubtedly played a huge role in Microsoft's success. But here's the twist. Gates had a classmate, Kent Evans, equally brilliant, could have been a co-founder. Tragically, Evans died in a mountaineering accident before graduating. So you have Gates, path paved by incredible luck, and Evans, whose potential was cut short by an equally unlikely tragedy.
Wow. That's sobering. What's the lesson here, especially when it comes to, financial success?
It's a stark reminder that luck and risk are intertwined. We can control our efforts, our choices, but external factors play a huge role.
Makes you think twice about those get-rich-quick schemes, doesn't it?
Totally. It's about acknowledging that luck is always part of the equation.
Which can lead to more balanced, realistic financial choices. Okay, so we've talked about financial DNA, the power of time, the role of luck.
Yeah, we're getting a good foundation here.
But there's something else, something that often trips people up. What does it actually mean to be wealthy?
Because there's a difference between being rich and being truly wealthy.
And it's not just about fancy cars and big houses, is it?
The video makes this crucial distinction. Richness is often fleeting, tied to your current income and stuff, but wealth, that's about the assets you haven't spent, the potential for growth, the freedom it provides.
It's almost like true wealth is largely invisible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about what you show, but what you have.
Which is tough because, everywhere you look, there's this pressure to spend to show success.
But the reality is, true wealth is built through restraint and delayed gratification.
Making choices today that will pay off in the long run, like resisting that impulse purchase and investing it instead.
You got it. It's a mindset shift. Every time you say no to that impulse, you're actually saying yes to a more secure future.
It's like playing the long game, understanding that real rewards come from financial security and the freedom to live on your own terms.
Exactly. Money should be a tool that empowers you, not something that controls you.
And that leads us to another insightful analogy from the video. This idea of the price of admission to the market. They compare it to climbing a mountain.
Ah, love good analogy. Makes it easier to grasp.
You know it's going to be challenging, there'll be setbacks, maybe even some scrapes along the way, but you wouldn't expect a magic escalator to whisk you to the top.
No way. The climb itself, the effort, the risk, it's all part of the experience.
But when it comes to the stock market, it's like so many people do expect that free ride. They want the 11% average return, but without the volatility, the uncertainty.
They want the reward without the risk, which is impossible.
Right. It's like wanting to steal a car instead of paying for it. The market has its fees, and those fees come in the form of risk.
Exactly. Trying to time the market, avoid any losses. It's like trying to cheat the system.
Yeah.
The video makes a great comparison. Buying a new car versus a used one. New car. Higher returns, but also a higher price tag, more volatility. Used car. More predictable, safer, but less rewarding.
And timing the market, that's like trying to steal the car altogether. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually.
Yeah, the consequences catch up. So the takeaway here is you got to accept that those market swings, they're just part of the game.
They're the price of admission to long-term growth.
Exactly. Embrace the volatility, see those dips as opportunities to buy low.
And it all ties back to that long-term mindset we were talking about earlier. Now, this next concept is something I think we all struggle with. It's about knowing when enough is enough.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one. The video uses those cautionary tales of Bernie Madoff, Rajat Gupta.
Yeah.
Already super wealthy,
Yeah.
but it was never enough.
It's a reminder that money without contentment is, meaningless, isn't it?
It all boils down to this thing called hedonic adaptation, or the hedonic treadmill. We get used to good things, then we just want more.
It's like a never-ending cycle. You get that new car, the bigger house, but the thrill fades quickly.
And it can be especially dangerous with money. We think, if I just had this much, I'd be happy. But the goalposts keep moving.
So the real challenge is defining what enough means to you.
Finding that balance where you have financial security, but you're not trapped on that treadmill, always chasing after more.
Using money as a tool to create a life you love, not letting it become your master.
Exactly. And that's where we'll pick up next time. We'll explore how to break free from that treadmill and find true contentment.
Because happiness isn't about reaching some magical level of wealth or possessions.
It's a state of mind, living in alignment with your values, appreciating what you have, using your resources, including your money, to make a positive impact.
That's the essence of true wealth. It's not about the numbers in your account. It's about the richness of your life experiences, the strength of your relationships, the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're living a life that's both financially secure and deeply meaningful.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what resonated most with you? What one small step can you take today to apply this knowledge to your own financial life.
You have the power to shape your financial destiny. It starts with awareness, a shift in mindset, and making choices that align with your values, your long-term goals. Take action, even a small step, and watch your true wealth grow.
It's been great exploring this with you.
Absolutely. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to create a life of true abundance.